At 92, Willie Nelson tells who he does not want at his funeral. Willie Nelson was born Willie Hugh Nelson on April 29, 1933 in Abbott, Texas. He grew up in a small-town family during the tough times of the Great Depression. Nelson's early years had lots of hard times but also helped him grow a lasting love for music. His parents, Ira and Myral Nelson, pushed him to follow his interest in music and got him his first guitar when he was little. When he was still in grade school, he started playing shows near his home. He showed a real gift for tunes, telling stories and writing words that would shape his whole career later on. Growing up in the Texas countryside really shaped his music style. It gave him a real feel, a humble way, and those deep, heartfelt stories that became the main part of his songs. Nelson started his work life in a simple way, playing in local bars and dance halls while also writing songs for other singers. His skill at writing songs showed up early with tunes like Family Bible. Even though he sold it for not much money at first, it showed the big effect he would have on country music. As time went on, his special voice, both the real singing one and his style, made him stand out. It had a smooth, sad sound and a special way of singing that lagged a bit behind the beat. Nelson's singing made a sound all his own that people knew right away, and that influenced many others. In the 1960s, he moved to Nashville, the center of country music. There he had a hard time getting big success as a singer at first, but he quickly became known as a great songwriter. He wrote hit songs for singers like Patsy Cline, Farron Young, and Ray Orbison. Nelson's own singing career took off in the late 1960s and 1970s, especially with the rise of outlaw country. This type of music went against the shiny, planned songs that were big in Nashville then. His albums like Red-Headed Stranger in 1975 and Stardust in 1978 showed his great singing skills and his talent as a storyteller and sharer of feelings. Red-Headed Stranger especially became a big moment in music. It mixed simple music with one full story to make a whole album idea that touched people a lot. Nelson's choice to go against normal ways, to record songs how he wanted, and to sing about love, loss, pain, and getting better made him a leader in today's country music. Besides his music wins, Willie Nelson has stayed a big name in culture for his work helping others and speaking out. He has always fought for farmers. In 1985, he helped start Farm Aid with other famous singers like Neil Young and John Mellencamp. It is a group that helps family farms in trouble. Nelson's work for the environment, help for soldiers, and push for legal marijuana show his big care for fair treatment, personal choice, and helping the community. His well-known look, often with a headband, holding his favorite guitar trigger and giving off kindness, fun, and smart thoughts, has made him a loved person not just in music but all over the world in pop culture. Even way past the age when most singers slow down, Willie Nelson has kept going with the same excited energy and love for creating that marked his young days. After he turned 80, instead of stopping to rest, he seemed to get even more energy. In 2014, when he turned 81, Willie surprised everyone in music again by putting out Band of Brothers. This album not only reminded people he is a living legend, but also went right to the top of the country charts. The songs showed a man who still had stories to share, new tunes to find, and feelings to put into every word. Each song felt like it showed that getting older only made his thoughts sharper and his link to real American music deeper. But Willie Nelson's creating has never stayed just in the studio. Over the years, he has easily moved into movies and TV, showing his charm goes way past the stage. His movie roles are a lot and different, from deep emotional stories to fun strange comedies and lasting favorites that brought him to new groups of fans who might not know his songs. Fun roles in The Electric Horseman showed his natural, easy way on screen, while parts in movies like Stardust and the loved show The Dukes of Hazzard showed his fun side and skill to fit into many kinds of roles. Later, he had surprise short parts in things like Dumb and Dumberer and the odd comedy Zoolander 2. Each one added more to his long connection with pop culture. And as if music and acting were not enough for many lives, Willie has also made a strong path as a writer. His books let fans get a closer look at the heart and fun of the real man. He has written more than 6 books, each with his clear voice full of wisdom, jokes, and love for adventure. Books like The Facts of Life and Other Dirty Jokes mix his fun, naughty humor with lessons from a bold life, while Pretty Paper gives a nice, thoughtful story from one of his favorite Christmas songs. His life story book, It's a Long Story, My Life I.'s one of his most loved works. It ties together the amazing highs, hard lows, crazy trips, and lasting friends that made him one of America's favorite culture stars. Over a career more than 70 years long, Willie Nelson has made hundreds of albums, written tons of songs, won many Grammy Awards, and got into the Country Music Hall of Fame. People love him not just for his music talent, but for his strength, real way, and staying important. Even in his 90s, he keeps touring, playing, and giving ideas to new singers and fans. His effect goes across types of music, touching not just country but rock, folk, and Americana, leaving a mark that can't be erased on music around the world. Willie Nelson's own life has been full of color and events just like his famous music career, and his love relationships and marriages have helped shape the man in the songs. His first marriage was to Martha Matthews in 1952. Back then, Nelson was a young guy in his late teens, still figuring out his life and work. Martha and Willie stayed together almost 10 years. They dealt with the hard parts of growing up family and the push of Willie's growing music dreams. Their marriage ended in 1962 when they chose to go apart. The details of their split stayed private, but this first marriage helped Willie learn about love, promise, and balancing close relationships with a growing job in show business. Soon after his first divorce, Willie Nelson fell in love again with Shirley Collie, a singer and performer too. They got married in 1963, and this time was a more open and known part of his life. Shirley, who knew country music, had a link with Willie not just in love but in creating, since they both knew the life and needs of the music world. Their time together lasted 8 years, until 1971. In those years, Willie kept changing his music style, going toward the mix of country, folk, and outlaw country that would make him known. Even though their marriage ended in divorce, the time with Shirley helped his growth as a person and artist. Right after divorcing Shirley Collie, Willie Nelson got into his third marriage with Connie Cope in 1971. This marriage was important because it happened when Willie was making his name as an outlaw in country music. Connie and Willie shared many years and dealt with ups and downs in life and work. But after 17 years, the stress of fame, touring, and personal differences led to divorce in 1988. Even though the marriage ended, Connie's role in Willie's life was a long, close one that shaped family as they had kids together and gave steady support in a wild time in his career. In 1991, Willie Nelson married Annie D'Angelo, starting his fourth and current marriage. Different from his past ones, his time with Annie has been very steady and long, over 30 years. Annie has been a strong partner for Willie, helping him with his music career and personal hard times. Their love has grown up and lasting, based on respect and understanding each other. Over the years, Annie has been key in his life, handling family things and giving steady help, letting Willie keep doing his music and helping causes with calm. At 92, Willie Nelson, the famous country singer and star of American music, has shared his clear wishes about who he does not want at his funeral. And the list is pretty open and honest. Known for his straight talk and often fun but very direct words about life, Nelson did not hold back when asked about it. In talks over the years, he has said again that he is happy to have friends, family, and people who really like his music and life there, but some people he does not want at his goodbye at all. "There are a few people I just don't want there," Nelson said, with his voice having that dry fun and real honest feel that fans love. "It's not about being mean, it's about keeping things real, and some people just don't fit there." The names he said are Garth Brooks, Kid Rock, Jane Fonda, and Ted Turner. A group of singers, actors, and big media people, each who Nelson said has a tricky spot in his own thoughts and public life. Talking about Garth Brooks, Nelson shared a long-time issue that comes from what he sees as not real in Brooks's way with country music. "Garth is talented, sure," Nelson said, "but he's not my kind of cowboy. He has a way of playing that feels too shiny, too planned. I don't want that at my funeral. I want people there who have lived the music, not just made money from it." This feeling shows Nelson's lifelong promise to the real roots of country music, a type he always thought should show truth, toughness, and raw feelings more than just selling. Kid Rock, on the other hand, caught Nelson's attention for personality and how he acts in public. "Kid Rock is a good musician for some, I think," Nelson said, shaking his head with a small, dry smile. "But he has an ego as big as Texas. He is loud in the bad ways, and I don't need that kind of feel at my funeral. It's not a show, it's the end of my story I want." Calm, thinking back, not someone making it about them. Nelson's words show a deeper idea that a funeral, especially one as personal as his, should be quiet remembering and respect without show or trying to get attention. Putting Jane Fonda on the list surprised some because of her fame as an actress and helper of causes, but Nelson's reasons were personal and clear. Jane Fonda, she has her causes, and I respect that, Nelson said, but we just never agreed on things. Politics, Hollywood, fame, they mix in ways that sometimes bother people. I don't want any weird feel at my funeral. It's about love and memories, not old bad feelings. But I also know what I don't want when I'm gone. His open talk here shows a man not afraid to say there are issues without anger, just choosing to keep lines even after death. Last, Ted Turner, the big media boss, got on the list for reasons, mixing personality fights with different ways of living. Ted is a big man, big thoughts, big ego, Nelson said with a bit of fun in his voice. I'm a small town guy deep down. We never really clicked on things that matter for something like a funeral, that's just it. In real Willie Nelson way, he said his no's not as fights but as right choices and wanting calm, making sure his last get-together showed the values and close people that really meant something to him. With these open words, Willie Nelson shows the same real way that has marked his career for years. He has never backed away from saying what he thinks, and even at 92, he keeps putting truth, strong values, and his own comfort over nice words or what people expect. His funeral, he makes clear, is not for big public show or famous people coming. It is a personal, close party for a life lived full and without sorry. I want my people there, Nelson said at the end. The ones who loved me, the ones I loved, and the ones who get what my music has always meant, that's all. The others can stay home. By sharing these wishes, Willie Nelson gives us more than a fun star story. He shows a look into the thoughts of a man who has lived his way, who knows just what he likes, and who, even thinking about his own end, chooses to be open with good values and truly himself.